I thought I'd do a life update. I haven't done one in such a long time since I was kind of moving out of mine. And I thought I would just let people know how I'm going, what I'm doing, because I'm getting lots of questions about where I'm at. So I thought I would start with living. So if you follow me already, a lot of you will know that I gave up my home and put all of my stuff in storage. And I am currently staying with a friend, Laura, who very kindly has said I can stay here. And she is having twins, and I obviously am a midwife, and I'm going to be there at the birth. She's got a 3-year-old as well, so I'm kind of helping around the house, keeping the house in order while I'm not really working too many hours, and just helping her in general because she's struggling a little bit now, bless her, and not sleeping very well. So it's pretty handy that I'm here. So it's helped me because I've got somewhere to stay, and it's also helping her because she needs a little bit of help and stuff. So yes, so I was going to go back to Bali or potentially Thailand or go somewhere warm because it's very cold in Melbourne at the minute, but flights are ridiculously expensive. And I think what I'm going to do is just stay here, help with Laura, stay here for a few months, and then I'm going to head back to England. So I'm going back to England because 2 of my best friends are pregnant in England as well. One of them is having a home birth, which I'm going to. I can't wait for that. Hopefully I can take you along that journey as well. And then my other friend is having her baby. They timed it very well because both of my best friends are due within like a week and a half, 2 weeks of each other. So it's perfect for me for going home. So I'm going back for maybe a month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Within that time, I'm also doing a writing retreat, which I'm really looking forward to, which is in the UK because I've started writing autobiography. So I'm just writing a bit of shit about myself, really. I don't really know why. I was like, maybe you should just write a book. And everyone was like, yeah, why not? And loads of people follow me and they say, you should write a book. And I think, I don't know what I'm going to write in there. But I just thought I'd start it. And if it's crap, I'll not do anything with it. But if it's not, we'll see how I go. So living in Melbourne, about half an hour outside of Melbourne. And I obviously am not practicing as a midwife at the moment. I have signed up to some agencies, but I haven't done any work yet. I am keeping my APRA up to date. I've just renewed my APRA so I can still practice. And I also am due to revalidate. So in England, you have to, within the Nursing and Midwifery Council, you have to revalidate every 3 years, which is where you put all of your like online learning, your professional development together, you do reflections, you put how many hours you've worked as a midwife, and then that goes towards, it's a bit like an appraisal basically, but every 3 years. So I'm going to do that when I get home. One of my managers, Nikki, is like, come on, we'll do it when I get back. So I'm like, yay. Okay, so when I go back in August, I'll get that ready for September when it's due, which is perfect. So I need to get on to doing that, which is definitely on the to-do list. But yes, I didn't want to give up my registration in England, and I don't want to give up my registration here because I want to leave everything open so that I can practice or not practice and see how I go. But at the moment, if someone asks me, do you want to do midwifery or are you going to be a midwife? I obviously will always be a midwife, but I don't think that I'm going to practice in the way that I usually do. I feel like there's another path for me. I feel like at the moment, I am wanting to help people relocate, and I'm wanting to help people see that there's more to life than staying in the same place, whether that be the same city, the same country. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of what I'm doing at the minute. So people are like, what are you doing for money? So my nana gave me some money. So I've got that as like a backup. So my nana gave me some money that I'm kind of keeping to one side if I need it. I got obviously paid while I was a midwife. I've just been paid some holiday pay that I was owed. God, it's bright out here. Some holiday pay that I was owed, which is really handy. And then I'm also being paid through Instagram. So one thing that I really want to make clear is, like, I don't want my Instagram to be all about sales and all of that stuff. And I've really tried to stick to things that align with me, align with who follow me, and that can help people. And I would never ever sell anything or put anything on my social media that I didn't use or didn't value or didn't think was good. So I'm working with a recruitment agency, HealthX, who basically are amazing. I've just been to the offices in Brisbane and the team were absolutely lovely. Like, you know, when sometimes you walk into like a new environment and people look at you, especially women, they're like that. Everyone was like, hey, Sydney, so lovely to have you here. Like, it's so nice that you travelled to see us. And it was just so lovely and warm. And I just really liked that feeling. And it was, and all the staff that I'm working with are really nice. And basically, HealthX are on a mission to try and help people relocate or find jobs within healthcare, within Australia or Tasmania. And I am helping them do that. So they basically pay me to find people or put out content to, I don't know, I guess it's just a type of marketing. It's like putting an ad out. I am just basically an ad because I've got so many followers who work within the health industry and want to move over. I guess that's why they chose me to work with them. So there's that. And then I'm working with Nathan, who also pays me to do a post. And he is a mortgage broker and financial advisor, and he is helping people move to Australia or purchase their first home. So if you have permanent residency, or you're a citizen, or even you live in Australia, you're an Australian citizen, and you want to purchase your first home. He has been working in the industry for like 18 years. He's got amazing reviews, and he's basically living in Europe from Australia, done it for a long period of time. He will find, just like any mortgage advisor, he takes a cut from the end or from the lender or whatever, however it works, but he doesn't take any, he doesn't charge anything to have a meeting. So the reason why I wanted to go with Nathan when he approached me was because if I'm helping people move over, and a lot of families that I already know who have moved over actually have sold their home and they want to purchase a new home after a short period of time of living in Australia so that they're settled, and Nathan can help you with purchasing that home. And he will be like your middleman and help you along the process. So he pays me to put a post out, a bit like HealthX do, and both of those together combined I thought worked really well for you lot, for my followers, because I just want to be able to help anyone as much as I can to make the transition from moving to Australia to moving to England, or purchasing a home, your first home, which can be really stressful, an easy transition. So those are the things that pay me at the moment. Also, I work with Be Perfect. Unbelievable brand, by the way. Incredible makeup. I use pretty much 80% of my makeup is now Be Perfect. It is affordable. It's lovely. It's an Ireland, Irish-based makeup brand. It does cost a little bit more to get it sent out to Australia, which is a shame, which I'm trying to work on. And then they obviously deliver to the UK. So that's how I'm getting my money at the moment. But also what I'm thinking is I've got a lady who's contacted me who wants me to do hypnobirthing with her. I'm also about to do hypnobirthing with my best friend who lives in England today. And I'm thinking of getting my hypnobirthing back off the ground because I actually really enjoy educating women about birth. I'm thinking of potentially recording a hypnobirthing course. I've already done it before, but I just want it to be more fine-tuned. I think I want to get like a photographer and an actual place where I can record it more professionally. But I really want to record a full hypnobirthing course that I'll put out online for people, and then people who want to do one-to-ones via Zoom at home, depending on where you live and where I am at that moment in time, it will come at a premium cost. So that will be like an hourly rate. And the hypnobirthing that I usually do is 9 hours, starting at about 28 weeks pregnant, 26 if you're really anxious or nervous. We do 3-hour sessions, and then I do another check-in around about 31, 32 weeks. And in this process, you've got me on WhatsApp. You can text me about appointments, any questions that you've got. So it's really good because you've got that interaction the whole time for the whole of your pregnancy from 26 weeks onwards. Then 32 weeks, and then I do another one around 35 weeks. And hypnobirthing is basically changing your conditioned beliefs around birth by using guided meditation, positive affirmations, visualizations, changing your mindset, and also tapping into your subconscious to change those conditioned beliefs about birth. Because I know that every bugger is terrified about birth because of stories that they hear, but they never hear the good ones. And actually, when you think about it being a natural process, and we think about it being a woman giving birth is what they're born to do, then that changes your mindset, even just saying that. and it's something to look forward to. And all of my women, when I've finished hypnobirthing with them, are looking forward. Yes, there's nerves, of course, it's the unknown, but they're looking forward to their birth because they are aware how to make informed choices so that they get the birth that they want. Not necessarily that it goes in the way that they specifically want, but they know that they've made informed choices so that at the end of the birth, they go, no matter which way it ended, we're both healthy and happy, and I made the correct decisions at the correct times, and I felt confident in my decision making because I had all the information I needed. And that's something that I also teach in hypnobirthing, having confidence to ask questions, to get the answers that you want, so that you know at the end you'll be happy no matter what. So I'm thinking of doing hypnobirthing, one-to-ones, and doing an online course at some point. Not sure when that's going to happen, but I would like to do that. I've also had a little think about maybe doing, which I don't know whether I'm going to do because I'm always thinking of different things, is maybe doing something called birth reflections. So this is something that they have in the UK. It's not really as well known in Australia, but basically it's where you may have had a traumatic birth, or you may have had a birth and you want to know what happened from beginning to end. And I would get you to get your notes. You then get all of your pregnancy and labour and birth notes, and then I read through them, and then I explain to you step by step what happened, so that we can go through every step, why it might have happened, what's been written down, the reasons for it, and that might make you feel more clarity in your mind so that you don't feel anxious going into having another baby. So birth reflections is maybe on my list. Also, everyone knows I'm bloody obsessed with a retreat at the moment, and I actually think that they are the way forward. I think that I would love to host, well, I know that I would love to host my own retreat, and I'm thinking of hosting a women's retreat, maybe even a mixed retreat next year. So maybe in Bali for people who are in Australia, and maybe somewhere in Europe for people who live in England. And that will bring women together to do mindfulness stuff, to learn about how to meditate, to do exercise if you want to do breath work, sound bath things, and just get women together, because I think that often women are nurturers and they don't put themselves first. And something that I've learned over the last few months is it's really important to put yourself as number one, because if you put everything you can into you, you are able to give the best out. And I think that going to a retreat, meeting other like-minded people, doing mindfulness practice, practicing mindfulness practice, being grounded, learning how to incorporate that into your day-to-day life, exercising, helping with your brain, and just spending time with other people who want to do that as well is really going to help. So that is also a potential on my list, which I'm excited about. And yes, moving forward, who knows what's going to happen? Something that I've done my whole life is plan everything to the nth degree. And then when a bit like birth, if you plan it too much and it doesn't go right, you feel really like, oh, it's me. I've done something wrong. I should have done this, blah, 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 blah. And what I'm trying to do at the moment is take every 2 to 4 weeks as it comes. I find structure is really important for me, and going to the gym, eating at the similar times, because that helps me be the best version of me. And if you've been following me, you've probably been aware that I have been diagnosed in April with ADHD, moderate to severe ADHD, and I also am looking at different ways to help with my ADHD symptoms. So I have been speaking to my GP. He's given me some medication that's short lasting that I've been taking for just over a week now. And oh no, it is a week, it's 7 days now. I've had a couple of days off, and typical ADHD, a couple of days where I haven't taken it at the right time or whatever, but I'm just on a journey, and I do want to take you on it because I've had so many beautiful messages of people who have ADHD or who have family members or children with ADHD who from my videos are understanding what it might be like to be in someone's head that's got ADHD. So I really want to help people. So this week I'm going to start looking up supplements, but I ideally want to look at ADHD holistically, look at what can help me with my ADHD. So I know that meditation, journaling, gratitude, affirmations, Pilates, gym, healthier eating, supplements all help with my ADHD. The medication that I've been taking, I am not against medication. I don't think anyone should be against medication, but sometimes I believe that medication is putting a plaster over something rather than looking at the root cause. I'm not saying that that's what ADHD medication does, but I'm saying that's what lots of other medications can do. And what I want to do is I want to speak to a naturopath. I've spoken to a homeopath. I'm also going to see a Chinese medicine doctor today to look at some different holistic ways I can help to improve my ADHD symptoms. And I would say some of the worst things that I get, that I have noticed that have been much better since taking the medication, is my negative thoughts about myself. So something that I have had for years is repetitive negative thoughts about myself. So I will say really horrific things to myself, like, you look fat, you look not very nice, oh, look at the state of that, you're useless, you're not very good. And that is really horrible to be in that headspace. And the medication has literally pretty much stopped that. Yes, when it starts to wear off, I might get a little bit of that back, but it has pretty much stopped that, which is incredible. And the medication has also stopped lots of racing thoughts. I'm able to be a lot more productive, which is really helpful. And I don't stim as much, so I don't touch my face as much, I don't chew my mouth as much, I don't like rock my feet as much, because I'm constantly like that all the time. And I still do it, but not quite to the extent that I would not on medication. So I'm just trialing different things, and I'm going to take you along on the journey with me. One thing about the medication is it makes my mouth really dry, so I'm drinking a huge amount, which is not a bad thing. And I feel like sometimes when I take it, if I don't take it with food, it makes my jaw feel like a bit locked and a bit stiff, which is a bit strange. So yeah, there are a couple of the things. And sleep, it's really affecting my sleep, which is not good for me, because I do like to sleep. So I've been having to take, I take magnesium anyway, but I've been having to take melatonin to get to sleep, which, and I feel like even my sleep quality is affected. But I've heard that if you take the medication more regularly, that can help. So we're just going to see. I've got an appointment in a few weeks with my GP to discuss longer acting stuff and whether these ones are working. But obviously I'll talk about that as I go. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in my life. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously, I went traveling, went to Dubai, Singapore and Bali, which was amazing. I need to put up some recommendations. That's on my list for this week as well for Bali. And I'm single. I'm actually pretty happy single. This is probably the first time, this year is probably the first time in my life where I actually feel like I actually want to do some work on me and like focus on me. And I don't know whether I'm in a position to date at the moment. And I think because of the lifestyle that I want to have, where I do want to be able to travel and do want to be able to work from anywhere and kind of flit in and out of places, I don't feel like dating someone in a city who has a Monday to Friday 9-to-5 job is going to work for me, because realistically they're not going to be able to have the lifestyle that I want. And yes, I do want to settle, I do want to be in Australia, I will come back to Australia, I am here now, but I will settle in Australia and get my citizenship. That is definitely on the cards. I don't think I want to move back to England. However, you never know, and I'm just very much open at the moment and just taking life as it comes. So yes, that's me, that's where I'm at. If you've got any questions, you know where I am, honeys. But yeah, life update over. Mum was like, you need to do a life update, Sydney. You've not told your followers what you're up to. I was like, okay, Mum. Also, Mum will be back on the content from September. I'm sure she's got a list of stuff that we can do when I get back. She's like, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? She loves it. Anyway, Mum's getting on really well as well. She's okay. We're gonna plan a trip together, which is nice. And yeah. So have a good weekend, people. I know it's the end of it, but peace out, honeys. Mwah.